been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fight.
Yeah.
I never looked at him like, man.
Well, here we go.
Feeling that serious preparation is underway.
If I take Floyd Mayweather in his absolute prime, and I take Manny Pacquiao in his absolute prime,
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd still beats him.
Floyd beat everybody.
You don't believe there's a guy at 140, 147 in the history of boxing that could have beat Floyd in his prime?
It'd be tough. Floyd, man, that boy, man, that's the GOAT, man. That boy bad.
What makes it, I mean, what, because, and I told people to say, look at Floyd. I said, Floyd, it's not that he trains, I mean, it's his life.
Actually, Terence Crawford and his team, who invited Floyd Mayweather to their training camp to help them prepare for the September 12th challenge. Valuable advice designed to sharpen his skills and move him closer to victory in September.
When I fought Canelo, I was 36, and Canelo was 23, around the same age. Some of these guys won world titles and was undisputed champion. I think, I don't know, the Tank age, you know, the young little champions. Canelo was 23 with 43 fights. And 30.
Mayweather and Terence Crawford were first seen standing ringside in deep discussion, Crawford and his trainers listening closely to Mayweather's advice. They were then shown inside the ring, where Mayweather focused on refining Crawford's defense, stance positioning, footwork, and overall movement before the two began sparring. During the session, Crawford had moments where he unleashed relentless combinations, successfully working his way through Mayweather's defense. As the rounds progressed, however, he shifted to fighting off the back foot, slowing his output and concentrating more on defending against Mayweather.
The world said he was inexperienced. I was 36 with 40-something fights. And to tell you the truth, I was over the hill. And so when I fight guys, when I'm in my 30s and they're in their 30s, you know what they say?
A training session together, and he said that Crawford is an exceptional fighter, one of the greatest of his generation, who reminds him of himself as well as some of the toughest opponents he has faced, adding that he admires Crawford's hunger and determination to leave behind a lasting legacy in boxing.
Easily.
It's really that they don't want, it's not that they don't want to see Tank win because they feel like it's beating me because I dominated the fight game for so long. But these same writers out here, they praise Canelo. He can pick and choose who he wants.
Asked whether he believed Crawford has what it takes to defeat Canelo Alvarez. And he responded confidently, saying he has always acknowledged that while Canelo is a great fighter, Crawford's style is perfectly suited to exploit those weaknesses, pointing to Canelo's last fight, where he appeared average, and ultimately predicted that Crawford would win for sure, emphasizing that he already has the tools and the inside knowledge needed to secure the victory.
Canelo did what he had to do to get the victory.
What do you want next? It seems like that's going to be the fight. Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, the biggest fight in boxing.
Well, Canelo's the face of boxing. He's the best fighter for Terence Crawford out there. He's the biggest fight for Terence Crawford out there, so that's why Terence Crawford want to take the opportunity to share a ring with another great.
How do you beat him?
And Mayweather quickly generated massive buzz online, with fans flooding the comments to praise the moment and celebrate seeing two boxing greats train together, especially since Crawford had recently shared a similar experience with Andre Ward before one of his big fights. Many fans expressed their excitement, with one writing that Crawford and Floyd training together looks great and that he's proud Crawford is taking all the right steps, adding that Canelo is not ready for what Crawford is about to bring. Another fan joked that the ring was suffering from too much greatness and said he believes Crawford would win if the fight ever becomes reality. Should also learn from Bivol, suggesting that their footwork and style are the key elements that could make the difference.
Everyone's talking about the weight differences. What's your kind of response to that, Terence?
That's why we fight the fight. So September 12th, we all going to see if the weight going to make a difference or not.
Do you want to fight him twice and then retire? Is that kind of the ideal thing for you?
One fight at a time, one fight at a time.
What did you make of, I know you didn't say much on tonight, the effectiveness of Williams' school. He came to, to decision as opposed to win the fight. Do you agree with that?
A fan commented, "I feel he'd get this done by decision." Big thanks to Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather had previously faced Canelo Alvarez in a World Boxing Council and World Boxing Association. The 45th of Mayweather's illustrious career pitted the veteran American against the young Mexican, who was taking on his toughest challenge to date. Although it was anticipated to be a difficult test for Mayweather, the bout turned out to be largely one-sided, with Mayweather claiming victory on points, using his skill and experience to outclass Canelo over 12 rounds and secure a majority decision victory. Despite clearly winning, Judge C.J. Ross scored one card 114-114, leaving many, including Mayweather, baffled. Summing it up in 3 words, he was nothing. The guy was a
I trained so hard, and now obviously I try to beat him because, if you beat him, you want to be the best in the world at 23.
What do you think was so impressive about him?
His experience, he's so smart. He have everything in a fighter, a complete fighter. He don't have power in the punches, but when you that kind of fighter, you don't need it.
You think that was the toughest fight you faced?
No.
What do you think?
I think he's tough fights and difficult.
Tired a few years, and even becoming undisputed in the 168-pound division. He now appears set for another major showdown against fellow pound-for-pound star Terence Crawford, with the bout reportedly scheduled for later this year. Some analysts, however, have expressed concern that the weight difference Crawford, moving up from 154 pounds to 168 pounds, having only fought once at super welterweight, could pose a significant...
Like Floyd, and some boxers look down on Floyd doing these exhibitions, saying it's not real, it's just a cash grab. What are your thoughts on that? Would that be something that you would do?
Look, he's retired. He can do whatever he wants, right? And I think I'm gonna miss boxing when I'm retired a lot, and maybe I can do 1 or 2. But
in that, Canelo is naturally a much bigger man than Crawford. Many believe it could lead to a significant knockout in favor of the Mexican, similar to when he faced Amir Khan, who had also moved up to weight classes for their fight. When asked about Canelo's power and whether it concerned him before their bout, Mayweather gave a confident response, saying, "Not at all. There's nothing I haven't experienced." In over 20 years in this sport, particularly given that Canelo has failed to stop his last 5 opponents, the 34-year-old from Guadalajara, Mexico, currently holds the unified WBA against fellow pound-for-pound star Terence "Bud" Crawford in what promises to be one of the biggest fights in boxing history. Canelo's only other career defeat came in 2022, when he was comprehensively beaten by former WBA light heavyweight champion Dimitri Bivol. The legendary Floyd Mayweather Jr., at just 23 years old, Canelo was given the chance to face boxing's pound-for-pound megastar quite simply. Money, an opportunity too good to pass up. Unsurprisingly, given his relative inexperience at the sport's highest level, Alvarez fell short in that blockbuster match at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas in September 2013, gave a comfortable victory to Mayweather. Since that night, Canelo has often reflected on the fight and what might have been. Now, at 34, Alvarez has become boxing's pay-per-view cash cow and is ready for even bigger challenges after signing a landmark 4-fight deal with Turki Alalshik and Riyadh Saif. The first fight under that contract is a super middleweight title. Unification against Cuban William Skell on May 3rd in Riyadh.
Earlier, I don't know. I can't call it.
Do you think Canelo slipped as a fighter?
No, I don't. I just think that, William was doing a good job neutralizing Canelo power punches. He was just moving a lot.
Do you think that's a style you have to employ in points of the fight?
I don't know, because if you watch the styles that beat him, they didn't move a lot. They moved a little bit, but not as much.
I'm not even a fan of that fight. They're too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. Now, Canelo is, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154, and he had some trouble with that in that fight. Now,
bout as just a tune-up for the real blockbuster showdown against welterweight and super welterweight king Terence "Bud" Crawford. The fight would have Crawford moving up to weight classes for the biggest challenge of his career, making it arguably the biggest fight boxing could stage right now. It is tentatively scheduled for September, assuming Alvarez handles business on May 3rd. In an interview with Mike Cower of Ring Magazine, the man from Guadalajara admitted that if he had faced Mayweather under his current conditions, the outcome might have been very different. He believes he is now a different Canelo. A clash with Crawford whose style resembles Mayweather's could help prove that.